Welcome back to the Canada Ball Hockey Nationals here in Mississauga, Ontario. I'm your play-by-play host, Carson Elcom, alongside my camera guy, Trevor Fitzpatrick. Next quarterfinals game for ya. We're kicking with the Windsor Cougars and the Danforth Knights. Team captain for the Knights, Jason Toth. Provincial champions a few years back for the Knights. Captains for the Windsor Cougars, wearing the C, Sean Boy, the alternate, Austin Broussard, and the other alternate, Scott Todd. Windsor Cougars, 2017 B Division bronze medalists in men's and women's. In goal for the Windsor Cougars, number 47, Dante Liberti. And in goal for the Danforth Knights, Victor Dua. As the Knights here are taking on the offensive zone, passes it over to 13. 13's going to make his way in. That's an easy give up to 49. That's going up in the netting. Knights taking that face off, getting it right over to 61 for the Cougars. Back to 49. 49's going to start to wind things up. He just sent an open pass to 61. 90 chasing to the net. 61 battling hard with 68. 90 going to chase it around for the Cougars. Knights hounding on them right now, especially along the boards, not letting them get some open ice into the center. And that's a quick shot off by number 34. It just goes wide. Cougars hemming hard for possession as they hit back over the red line of the offensive zone. 10. He's going to send that one in deep. That's going to hit the home bench and head out of play. Windsor takes this draw. They're going to bounce it up. This is the B division, a little bit quicker than C that we've had previously. 87's going to take it around the net for the Knights. He's going to try to fire out, but cut off by 21. 20 along on the half boards. Clapper inward. That's blocked by 87. 21. He's going to toss it over to 10. 10 being hassled by 5. 5 with an open net. Saved by the goaltender. Rangio making a nice save there as the number 5 had a lot of open ice. That was Chris Balalo. Oh, the Knights taking it around. They're going to get an outlet pass. The Cougars are really trying to hem. Oh, and that's a hard hit. That's going to be a penalty. as number 11 on the Cougars, Jason Tinchaluk, absolutely rocked number 17, Ryan Broderick. Chances are that's going to be 4 minutes. Danforth with the ball, 68. He's going to 22. 24 on the half boards. Down low, 27. 24 with the shot. And that's cut off by number 19. Behind the net, Windsor taking the ball. They're attacking the Knights. That was sent in by David Kukis. Windsor tossed that out. That's going to be flooring. Out of play. Apologies to those of you who are watching for the Knights. The paper I was handed with the roster is missing names and is poorly spelled, so I don't know who did it, if it was a child, but we're doing our best here, just pulling up the sheets online, so we'll get back to that shortly. So the Cougars taking a nice offensive draw, shutting it down. Arangio's going to toss that out for his players. Liberty with those beautiful brown pads. Take me right back to the 70s. Didn't, live in the 70s, but I get the vibe. As the Knights are establishing a presence in here. 17. He's going to send it back to 30. Nice save. Liberty coming out with the blocker. 10 and 29 battling on the half boards. 29's going to send it up. That's over to 44. 58. He's going to send it down to 17. Knights establishing pressure. 17. He's going to keep holding it. He's got a lane. He's going to send it over. And that's in. What a play. All starting with Keon Sims-Plania rifling that right over. So I believe that was number 30. Marco Dias with the goal, with an insane pass. A lot of patience from Keon Sims-Plania. Just waiting. He found that opening, and it's 1-0 for the Knights. Windsor has dominated a lot of metrics early on here, but Knights open up the scoring first, and Liberty just gets one squeezed through him. But now we got a 3-on-2. Just shot wide. 71. Over to 85. 85 just misses the pass to 16. It's 3 for the Cougars. Going to take it up. He makes it over to 8. Cut off by 10. 10 to 85. 85's going to send it in. That's going to be offside, so they're going to send 3 in for the Cougars. 3 to 9. 9 back to 3. 71. 16. That's 8 for the Cougars, sends it in. He's going to make some space. 3 trailing with them. Open lane for 3. Oh, and just missed the pass over to 61. Eric Winter almost had a sure shot goal there, but just too shy of the stick. Mike Empey is going to send that in for the Knights. Gathered up by Abston Broussard. Broussard. Battling in with Marco Dias. Dias out front trying to get there. Craig Rishton just can't pull the trigger as Dias is going back. He's battling hard on the half boards with Ballo. Balalo. He's trying to stick that by. He gets it out past the blue line. Not far enough to the red though as the Knights fire that one back in on Liberty. Rishton. He sends that deep. Chasing for the Cougars is Boy. Boy with the ball. He's going to send that up off the hand of the Knights player. That was Paul Giusti. Or Giusti, excuse me. Knights reestablishing possession. David Kukis. He fires that in, tipped high and wide. Blake body. He's taking it up the outside. That's back over to Paul Giusti. Nice save by Liberty. Nom sends that one in, over to 8. The Cougars, what a save. Arangio, a little bit of a pad stack scorpion right there just to cover the puck, or the ball, excuse me. Makes a nice save. Keep this one a 1-goal game for his team, 1-0 lead. 7:40 remaining in the first period. Knights up 1-0 on the Cougars. Cougars have possession in the offensive zone. They're going to send it up to 16. Christian Flipkowski sends it down to 90. Nick Granero. Abston Broussard chasing that alongside Simplania. Keon taking it up. He's going to dance around Broussard. Keon's got it in left-hand corner. He's getting hassled by Winter. Winter and Broussard trying to get that out. Chopped over to 34. Burkett. He sends that one back in. Wide open net. Liberty can get that chopped away. And just like that, the Knights forcing it back into the offensive zone. And they score! Number 87, Rob Clark with a rocket of a one-timer close in. Not much Dante Liberty can do about that. What a goal. Rob Clark, that's his first goal of the tournament. His 3rd point in 4 games, 1 goal, 2 assists. Get the monkey off the back. That's a rocket close in front. And the Knights have themselves a 2-0 lead. So we set up for the following draw. Taking the face-off, number 16, John Capano for the Knights. Number 28, Sean Voy for the Cougars. The Knights have possession. They're going to send that in. Michael Fisher tips that off. John Capano's in deep. It's fired deep. into the Danforth end. Jordan Kahn going to send that over to Ryan Morden. And Liberty's going to scoop that one up and wait for the whistle. Just under 6 minutes left in the first period here. Danforth up 2-0 on Windsor. Not a whole lot of offensive pressure from the Cougars right now. Really hemmed into the defensive zone. Spacing has been trouble for them. And just the physicality of the Danforth Knights has really overtaken a lot of their depth scoring. Cougars taking possession in their own end. That's chopped right out. That's going over to number 19. Liberty was ready to make the pad stack, just bounced away. Out in front, 91 buries it. And just like that, 3-0, Clayton Carr from in tight. The second goal now that has been just right outside the paint that Liberty has just had no hope in getting. The defensive tightness of the Cougars is just not looking strong. The spacing's been poor. They're letting too many people get out front, and there's only so much Liberty can do when he gets that kind of room and space with another player. Clayton Carr, second goal of the tournament, second point, this being his third game played. And he makes this one 3-0 as Windsor calls a timeout here. As we get back underway here, Windsor and Danforth. Danforth taking possession off the draw. Knights forcing their way into the neutral zone. As we get back, Windsor, 34. A little bit of a takedown. Wiley Burkett showing the physicality for Danforth right now. They got to spark something to get Windsor going. Davis Kuksis, he's working his way in. He's going to make a quick pass. That's blocked. 61 over to 90. Back to 61. That's Eric Winter bearing it in. Back to Kuksis. And Tinchaluk is chasing that one. That's going to go up to 90, but he wasn't ready. Nick Grenario. Taking the face-off, number 87, Rob Clark for the Danforth Knights. Number 28, Sean Voy for the Windsor Cougars. Windsor takes the draw. They're sitting back. Brassard, he's going to outlet pass. A little too far though, and that's going to be flooring. Luke Rampino chasing that one down. And we're having another face-off to the right of Liberty. Clark. Clark and Voy. Once again, Voy wins it. It's going to go back to Windsor. They're going to try to get it out. Able to pass far. Not ball flooring this time, excuse me. Bit of a chop there by number 5, Chris Balalo. They're sending it around to Khalib Sims-Plania. An interesting save. Arangio seems to have made the save. Some guys thought it was in, but it's right under his right shoulder. Stays a 3-0 game. 4 minutes remaining in the first period. They drop the puck. Windsor takes possession. That deflects off someone, and now they're hustling back the other way. Get back on defense. Danforth. Send it over to 85. 85's going to cross the blue line heading at the neutral zone. Sending it back. Dumping it in on Liberty. He makes the save. Brassard. Sending out to 96. To 19. They're hustling in now. Back and forth. Danforth heading back into the offensive zone. They got 2 over the line. 21 slides in as 16 hits the check. Fighting along the boards. That's grabbed by 16. 8 catching it on the half boards. Filipovsky. He's going to carry it up. He's got Dupuis beside him. Filipovsky sends it in. That's taken by Mike Empey. Empey firing it up to Marco Dias. Eric Winter trying to get it out, but it's right back in. That's an open side. Fires it right back, just deflects off of a foot in front. Craig Rishton almost got another goal there. Heading back number 90, Grenario. He's going to head past the neutral zone, get through the red line. Blocked off by Danforth. Back across the neutral zone. That's taken by Windsor. Quietly reset by Weston. Weston up the left side. He's going to get it through the blue line, but it's cut off by Danforth. Granero fires over to Weston. Weston back to Winter. Burkett sends it in for Winter. Granero getting hammered along the boards. Burkett to Brassard. Brassard fires it in, just wide. Winter back out, under control by Blake Body. Body firing it and leaving it for Kooger. Liberty with a great save. On bounce, but he makes a save. 3-0 for the Knights with 1:43 remaining in the first period. Nice save by Liberty. Right off of a shot from Kooger. And that'll be flooring on Windsor. So leading the team in points right now for Danforth, Khalib Sims-Plania. 6 points in 3 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. And he's got another assist here, up to 7 points in just 4 games as Danforth takes possession. Brockowick, he's going to send it up high, deflected in by Kooger. Aragio sends it to the right side. Danforth tight along the point, that's fired in. And that's going to be a penalty. Looks like on Windsor touching up.
Dupuis having a quick word with the referee. Not sure who's heading the box. Looks like we're going to have number 5, Chris Balalo, heading to the sin bin. 2 minutes for roughing. Danforth heading on the power play. They've been deadly already. 3 goals in the first period. 1:12 to go. 2-minute penalty. See what they can do for this last minute and 12 seconds. See if they can do a 4-goal lead heading into the second period as they win the draw. .68. That's Zachary Carr. He's playing tic-tac-toe with Kooger. Rob Clark sends it back to Kooger. Clark. Kooger. Carr. Back to Carr. Kooger. And they bury it. Paul Giusti, excuse me. Gets his second goal of the tournament, his 4th point in as many games. 2 goals, 2 assists. Just a pretty tic-tac-toe power play. All started from one of the Sims-Plania brothers, Khalib, just showing some patience near the net, and anything can happen. He just waits for the goalie to bite, sends it back over to Giusti, and that's in the back of the net. Apologies if there's mispronunciations of names. Unfortunately, the teams give us any of the pronunciations for the players, so we're doing the best we can up here. We're kicking back to a draw. Face-off won by Windsor. Windsor fired in by Tinkaluk. It's carried in by Carr. Carr's going to fire that in. Chased down by Dias. Outlet pass. We're going to have a little breakaway here. And that's stopped by Aragio. Nice save. Three seconds left, and that's going to end this one. First period, Danforth Knights up 4-0 over the Windsor Cougars. 4 goals in the opening frame. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the second period of the Division B Canada Ball Hockey Nationals quarterfinals.
Well, kicking back over Canada Ball Hockey Nationals here in Mississauga, Ontario. Period 2 between the Windsor Cougars and Danforth Knights. 4-0 heading into the start of the second period here for the Knights. Just an absolute clinic put on offensively. A power play goal, 3 even strength goals, led by the 2 main brothers on this team, Khalib Sims-Plania and Keon Sims-Plania. As we get underway here, Windsor takes possession early on. They're going to head into the offensive zone. Arangio had a great opening period in net for the Knights, not letting anything by, making some pretty impressive saves. As Windsor sends it back in. Knights taking control as they're going to send it into their offensive end. Gloved down by number 11, Tinchaluk. Windsor chasing now, being trailed by number 29, Blake Body. Body around the net. He's working hard. He's getting hit from behind by number 11, Jason Tinchaluk. 87 with an open lane. He almost got the 5th one right there. That was Rob Clark going for his second out of the game. Clark moves it down low. Fisher. Windsor starting to head back in the offensive zone, pass through the neutral zone, bounces off the stick of a Knights player, Mike Empey. And look at this, Keon Sims-Plania, he's going back in. The legs on that kid, he flies. He's got some open ice, creating space. Nice play, they're going to fire it in from the red line. Nice save by Liberty. Sims-Plania back out front to his brother, off the post. Liberty making the save just barely. We almost had a 5-0 lead, and that's another great stop by Liberty on Sims-Plania. Clark to Plania. Both brothers back in. Dog cut off in the middle. Giusti to Plania. Sims-Plania. Nice save by Liberty. That was John Capano with the shot, excuse me. Capano. To Sims-Plania on the boards. He's getting hassled by number 49. Dylan Weston. Weston on Plania, and that's got some physicality to it. Ref's gonna shut that down. Split all that up as Sims-Plania and Weston are swapping some words here. And I think Sims-Plania here is getting sent to the box. Keon Sims-Plania, I'm going to say for unsportsmanlike based on what he was yelling at the ref. But we got coinciding penalties. Looks like we got 2 people going into the box for Windsor, 2 for Danforth. For Windsor, we got 34, Wiley Burkett. And I believe that's 61, Eric Winter. And then in the box for Danforth, we got number 68, Zachary Carr, number 17, Keon Sims-Plania. So bench is a little shorter right now. See what the head coaches throw out there. Windsor is going to get a defensive zone draw. 21 takes it around. He's going to pass it back to 10. Broussard is going to send it up on the half board. 71, outlet pass. Clapper saved by Liberty. fighting along the half boards. Danforth continuing to hold pressure. Kahn with a shot from the red line. Windsor battling hard now over for Friendly. Friendly coughs it up. 85. Rifles it just wide. Michael Fisher just missed on that amazing scoring chance. Now we have 2-on-2. Findlay, he's taking it, coughs it up to 21. Paul Jutsty, he's going to send that back out to 85. Mitchell Fisher, excuse me, not Michael. Fisher, he's going to send it back in for Jordan Kahn. Kahn going to send it up. Chasing is Capano. That's going to be flooring. Some amazing chances by Danforth just earlier, a couple minutes ago, but just could not get through Liberty. So, excuse me, now in net goalie change, Chad Denom in for Dante Liberty. He's been making some good stops early in this frame here. Liberty pulled after 4 goals in the opening frame. But Windsor with possession, number 11, Tinchaluk. He's going to send that deep. Craig Rishton, he's going to send that around. Just barely missing, number 96, Dylan Denom. He had an open opportunity there on the netminder, Corrado Arangio. 11 minutes left in the second period. Face off here. Denom against Rishton. Rishton wins that for Danforth. Danforth in the defensive zone. They're going to pass that over across the crease. Slinging it up for 30. He's going to miss it, and that'll be flooring. Marco Dias just missed that. Tie goes to the offender, I guess, in this scenario. Or the defender, excuse me. As flooring puts them back in defensive end. Corrado Arangio. Good start so far. Rishton and Denom. Denom wins it. They're going to send it back. Tinchaluk sends it in. Danforth trying to capitalize on the short side. Danforth's going to head up. They're exiting the defensive zone. Neutral zone. Passing it up. They're going to get that tap in. That's clean. Denom coming out to splay it. Danforth setting things up. Rishton. He's going to send that back for Carr. Carr fighting along the boards. Tinchaluk battling hard. Windsor, possession. Oh, and Rishton, a little bit of slashes there. Flooring waved off. Kahn, he's going to take that one up himself. Entering the neutral zone. Passing the offensive zone, but that's cut off real quick by number 49. Danforth back on the attack. They're trying to get it through. David Kukis with some time. He's got some space. He's going to fire one off to the side. Clean room, number 44. Jason Toth. Toth going to the sideboards in the corner. Clean. I don't know if Denom got a piece of that, but if so, an incredible pad stack by the goaltender. Kuksis. Back to Toth. Toth to Kuksis. One-timer, just wide. That was Paul Justi with the one-timer. Kuksis' pass gets cut off, and Windsor's going to send that in deep. That's going to be flooring. Entire group of Windsor players out there in the defensive zone with 8:59 remaining in the second period. So we got those calls in. All 4 players, game misconducts. 10-minute misconducts, excuse me. So they're going to be enjoying a nice rest there in the sin bin. Taking the face-off with the Knights, number 87, Rob Clark, against number 28, Sean Boy. As Clark wins the face-off and fires one off onto Nom. Windsor taking possession out of their own zone, hitting the neutral zone. Third entry, Carr cuts that one off. Fisher sending it over to Sims Plania. Clark, he's got some time and space. He's going to fire one in on Denom. Denom's going to cover that one up, make sure nothing gets out, stoppage in play. Ever since coming in from Liberty, Denom has looked calm, cool, and collected. Hasn't looked too shaky, safe in what he needs to, hasn't let a shot in. 4-0 still for Danforth as we enter halfway through this second period. Clark, he's going to get that face-off win. Sims Plania fighting along the boards. As Danforth sends it back out, he's got some space. Clark! And that's blocked off by Broussard. Sims Plania and Clark both battling Broussard hard in the corner. Gets out room to 28. Boy, he's going to get it caught up. Balalo, he's going to send that one in for Windsor. Clark and Fisher on him. Kahn shadowing all the players. Broussard working hard for Windsor. That's not going to work. Clark out. He just misses Fisher with the pass. That's in on net on Denom, so no flooring, as Windsor's going to send it right back out. Kahn, he's going to toss that back out. We got a possible breakaway here. Mike Capano, he's got some time and space. Squanders it a little bit. He had some patience that he could have used, but just didn't have the read on the play. As Arangio's going to pass it off to Morden. Morden's going to fire that one up to John Capano. Capano to Morden. Morden firing that over. Empey on his way in. He's going to get that deep. What a save by Denom. He's going to drop into the butterfly and have a few words with Mike Capano. Obviously didn't like the tap he got in the pads, but nonetheless a nice save for Denom. Some yelling from the benches. Someone's unhappy about something. A little bit of chirping from the Slims Plania brothers, which you gotta love. Channeling a little inner Matthew Kachuk over there. Windsor's gonna take that face off. Burkett is gonna get it out. He's gonna get cut off by Ryan Morden. Morden to Empey. Empey's gonna fire that off to Capano. Capano over to Carr. Carr's gonna fire that in, that out of play. 6:54 remaining in the second period. 4-0 for Danforth. Windsor's been able to hold their own a lot better this period, but the offense just still hasn't been there. If you're just joining us, we're in the second period of the quarterfinals of the Canada Ball Hockey Nationals here in Mississauga, Ontario. I'm your play-by-play voice, Carson Elcom, alongside my camera guy, Trevor Fitzpatrick. It's a 4-0 lead for the Danforth Knights over the Windsor Cougars right now. And the Knights have not held back, as we got another one headed into the box. Number 91, Clayton Carr. Looks like Windsor's going to be on the power play briefly. We're going to have to get word what the call is. Refs are discussing it. I don't even know if they're sure yet. Might be a roughing, unsportsmanlike. They're talking things over. Team captains aren't over there either, so obviously they have a decision made. So I don't know if one of them's getting an ejection or if they just put too many guys in the box. Wasn't actually a call. Because Clayton Carr is out of the box now. But it looks like they just had it the other way. It looks like Windsor is going to be on the penalty kill, and Danforth has got another power play, which has been very successful to this point. But no, look at that. Clayton Carr is leaving the ice. That's going to be an ejection right there for Carr. Carr slamming that gate, not too happy. He's got some Dylan Denom speaking with Jason Toth and the referees for what's going on. Got 3 players right now in the Windsor box, only 2 in the Danforth box, but obviously Clayton Carr was ejected for the previous play. Well, Chris Dupuis on the Windsor Cougars having himself a little dance by the bench, so at least he's happy and energized. I don't know if I'd be doing that while I got 3 guys in the box and 1 ejected, but hey, to each their own. So it's going to be a 5-minute major for Carr. And that's going to give Windsor a really good opportunity here to make some noise and maybe get something on the board. Oh, we got a little power play for Windsor here. On the back end, you got Derek Brassard and Dylan Denom as your D pairing. But Aragio is going to grab that really quick. Taking the face off here. Number 9, Chris Dupuis, and he's going to win that. Brassard to Denom. Brassard to Guerrero. Brassard. He's going to fire that one on Aragio, just high and wide. Dupuis. He's going to fire that over to Denom, back to Brassard. Brassard at the point. Stick handles. Back to Denom with a rocket stop by Aragio. Fighting along the boards, Danforth hemmed in right now. Fisher. Spitting is the call for Carr. Granero, he's taking things high. He's going to leave that for Brassard. Brassard to Granero. Granero to Brassard, fires in one-timer. Nice side by Aragio. And they're going to toss that one out down the ice, and Denom is going to make that and fire right back up to Brassard. Brassard on entry. Chasing it is Granero. Granero getting hassled by a Danforth player. Weston hard in the wall with Granero. That's off to Brassard. Brassard behind the net. He's trying to look for some space. Denom up high on the point. Back to Weston. Weston's going to find Denom. Denom. He's going to fire it in from deep over to Weston. Weston to Brassard. Brassard taking his time. That's blocked. Morton with a nice block to keep this a 4-0 lead. Denom to Brassard. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in this power play. 5-minute major. Denom. And that's sticked away by Madorn. Brassard. He's going to make the work do it for him. Just wide on Aragio. And that's going to hit the netting and go out of play. That was Denom that fired that. Just wide, and Aragio continuing to be a stud in there in net. As we're going to see the power play 1 get some rest. We got some power play 2 time for the Windsor Cougars. Just to highlight a really nice play on Danforth by number 10, Ryan Morden. A really nice block on the right-hand side where Derek Brassard was going for a pass, and that was a clear scoring opportunity for Denom if he didn't block that. Windsor's going to take a timeout here for 30 seconds. See if they can get something on the board. 2:30 remaining in that 5-minute major. To Clayton Carr for spitting. Well, there's not a whole lot of people to call upon because half of them are in the bench right now on each team, 3 in each. Serving some 10-minute misconducts in the 5-minute major. But Windsor needs to find some scoring here. With a 4-0 lead and Danforth's tight defensive play, it's going to be hard to get anything by him. 4:24 to play in the second period. Taking the face-off for Danforth is David Kooger. And for Windsor, number 28, Sean Voigt. Voigt is going to win that clean. But Kooger able to get that back, fire it down the ice. Denom's going to make that save. He's going to leave it for number 3, Owen Findlay. Findlay's going to take it up himself. Across the blue line, the neutral zone. Brassard's going to rush in on that right flank. Trying to work behind the net. Brassard. They got to tidy things up and tag up on the blue line, and that'll be a flooring by Windsor. There's just no sustained pressure by Windsor. They float the outside, they pass nicely, but they're not getting anything into the center, into that diamond, and that's what's causing those offensive woes right now. They need someone to step up, make a fancy play even, get someone in deep and get in close. We look at the goals we've seen from Danforth, and all of them have been relatively close to that paint area. Face off to the left of Denom in the Windsor defensive end. Kooger misses on that. Windsor going to take advantage. 1 minute, 50 seconds remaining, and the penalty. Denom going to head around the net and leave that. He's going to pass it over for Denom, the brother. The scramble in front of the net. Jake Nimmo goes flying along with number 19, Dylan Weston. And Arangio was in a little bit of a goaltending sandwich. Arangio has one of the best statistical sets in the tournament right now. He's played 2 games, he's only allowed 3 goals against, 1.5 goals against average, 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 overtime losses, 2-0 with those numbers. And right now he's riding another shutout. He's got the opportunity to be one of the goalies to beat for sure in this tournament. But Windsor continues to set up around the outside. Brassard goes in, and there it is. Just when I said they needed to get in dirty. Number 8, Jake Nimmo gets on the board for Windsor. It's 4-1. You just get close in front. You never know what's going to happen. He got some space. Arangio was caught, a little flat-footed, and just like that, in the back of the net. And it's only a 3-goal game now, with 2:56 remaining in the second. Just like that, tides can turn if they get some momentum and Windsor can keep going. They might still be in this thing. And Windsor has yet to win a game yet. They're 0-1-2. A -7 goal differential, so they don't score enough, which we can see here, but you never know. And the Knights are a strong team in this division, and with that strong of a netminder between the pipes, doesn't surprise me that they're sitting second just to the Edmonton Killer Bees in that division. Face off just in the neutral zone. Dylan Weston, he's going to win that for Windsor. Denham, he's going to pass that over to Brassard. Brassard's going to head over the red line, looking for options. He's got to stick handle his way in. Nice little pick and go. He's gotten that to Weston. Weston with the shot just off the body of Clark. Granero sending it back to Denham. Denham trying to fire that in. That's going to bounce out and everyone will have to tag up. And Sean Boy trying to battle hard. They're getting hassled. Behind the net, Denham. Marco Dias doing some good work on the penalty kill there for Danforth as this penalty comes to an end. We're back to 5-on-5. Danforth working their way in. That's cut off by Weston. Behind the net, Capano. Capano over to Capano, his brother Mike. Danforth keeping it in. They're not letting Windsor leave. Tight play right now. Capano just high and wide over Denham. Brassard trying to cut that off. Weston manages to get it back to his netminder Denham. We're going to have a stoppage with 1:15 left. Second period, 4-1 for Danforth. I do say, though, that since Chad Denham came in to replace Liberty after the first period, he's been strikingly hot in there. He's not letting much in. He's been a brick wall for the team. That's all you can ask when you're already down 4-1. As we got Clark for Danforth getting ready at the face-off dot against Burkett. See if Windsor can get something going before the end of this period, get another one. Windsor's going to win that thanks to Burkett. They're going to fire that out to 61 Winter. Sims Plania is going to get that in. Clark gets bumped by Burkett. And yeah, just as I thought, that's going to be interference. Rob Clark heading back to the box. Oh, what a nice gesture there by number 34, Wiley Burkett, as he ushers him in there. A little bit of animosity starting between these two things. It's do or die. Winner's going to the semis. So Windsor has to step their game up if they want a chance to compete here. So we're getting a face-off to the left of Orangio's net. Burkett is going to take that against Jason Toth. Toth and Burkett. Burkett wins the draw over to Brassard in the back end. Over to Benham. Benham fires that in. Glove by Orangio. Blocked in front just barely, and that's in. What a scramble play. But just like that, Nick Granero gets the goal. And it's 4-2. That's Granero's third goal. 5th point in just his 4th game here. That's as greasy as you're going to get him. Nothing Orangio could do on that one. But Nick Granero making sure his team stays in this. 4-2 for Windsor. it never ends. 52 seconds left in the second period. Windsor going to take control. Broussard holding it on the right end. That's being fired up to Burkett. Burkett one-on-one. What a save by Arangio. He comes out sliding with the butterfly to stop that. Broussard trying to block that. Kooger in on his own. What a save by Denom. That's a fly-in. I don't know if that's in or not. It looks like Denom had that. And it's getting fiery on this end. Denom with an incredible save for the pad stack. I didn't see it cross the line, but that net was shifted. Oh, and shoved right over. I think that's Burkett. And he just completely tossed over Zachary Carr. We'll see who's getting the penalty. Yeah, definitely 61. Eric Winter heading to the box. Gonna say for roughing, could be unsportsmanlike conduct. But after that shove, you gotta think it's gonna be roughing after a whistle. And we got two more heading in as well. Christian Flipkovsky. 3 Windsor Cougars in the box right now. We'll see how this evens out. It looks like Danforth's going to have themselves a power play. I think they decided on the ruling that didn't cross the line. I thought Denom got a good chunk of it. Face off to the right of the Denom. Nimmo taking that face off for Windsor as there's some shoving still going on between Sean Voy and Kooger. Zachary Carr trying to bring that one in. Some room on the right hand side. Pad stack by Denom. Broussard behind the net. He's going to work that one out and send it down. That just does get a piece on it, but that will be the end of the period as time ticks down. Crazy end of the second period. Some jarring, some chirping, some shoving. 4-2 for the Danforth Knights. Windsor's not out of this yet. Heading into period 3. The Canada Ball Hockey Nationals here in Mississauga, Ontario. We'll be right back.
just wanted to come talk to you because the Pigeons are playing next, and like I said, this is our first national. Last year she was there when we won in gold and both 2 and 3. We won both. So I'll absolutely make sure to do that. Yeah, your roof, right? I'll see you down there.
Sorry about the delay as we pick things up here. Start of the third period. Danforth on the power play. Denham making a nice save. Kooger over to Clark. Sims-Plania bats that back. Carr to Kooger. Kooger with a one-timer, and that's saved by Denham. Toth to Kooger. Toth, one-timer, and that's in the back of the net. Little tic-tac-toe with Jason Toth and David Kooger. And that's in the back of the net for a 5-2 lead on the power play. Deadly, deadly power play so far for the Danforth Knights. 100%, 3 for 3. Just incredible puck movement and aim and firing ability. The launch on that puck and release is just incredible. Well, back at center ice. Danforth is going to take that draw. They're going to work it down the bottom. Kahn's going to pass that up. That's going to get cut off. Down on the ice is Mike Capano in some pain. Mitchell Fisher there to help him up, along with John Capano, his brother. Face-off going to be in the neutral zone. Danforth Knights defensive side. Owen Finley in the face-off dot against John Capano. Capano's going to win that draw for Danforth. Danforth fires all that in. That's heading to the offensive zone. That'll be flooring. We got a face-off to the right of Arangio. Windsor's doing what they got to do, going for those greasy goals. But Finley here and Capano going for the face-off again. Finley wins it, but breaking out really quick was Mitchell Fisher. Capano leaves it for Fisher. Keeps it in. Capano bats it out of midair. Brother-to-brother duo. John to Mike, Mike to John. Taps that in from midair. Right past Chad Denham. And that's a 6-2 lead for the Danforth Knights. That's an incredible goal midair. Just a good rush, good entry, created space, and just whacked at it. I don't know if that's a greasy goal, that's a beautiful goal, but nonetheless, 6-2, 13-13 remaining in the third period. Toth taking on Denham for that opening faceoff after the goal. Windsor trying to apply some pressure in the offensive zone, but every time they get in, they're just pushed right out by a good defensive system in Danforth. Dupuis heading back to get that for Windsor. He's got Brassard to his left, but he's going to cough that up to Toth. Gets through to Denham, however, just barely. Denham, and that's going to be covered by Corrado Arangio. Back to a 4-goal deficit where we were to start after the first period. 6-2 for the Danforth Knights, leading the Windsor Cougars. That was John Capano's first goal of the tournament, by the way. And that's a pretty fine way and pretty way to make that happen for your first goal. Danforth just taking their time, bouncing it around the back. They're not rushing things. They got a 4-goal lead. Denom trying to cut that off, but isn't successful. Body is coming in. He's down the right-hand side. He's fighting hard, Dupuis. He's got Kooger now on the left corner. He's getting rubbed really hard by Dupuis. Dupuis down, and that's going to be a penalty against Danforth. It's like some roughing. And Davis Kooger will be heading to the box here momentarily. Danforth just waiting to touch the ball for that delayed penalty, running the clock. And just like that, tempers flaring as Nick Granero takes down Paul Jutsti. If you're just joining us from other games, currently the quarterfinals of the Canada Ball Hockey Nationals here in Mississauga, Ontario. Danforth Knights versus the Windsor Cougars. Knights up 6-2 right now. I'm your play-by-play voice, Carson Elcom, alongside my camera guy, Trevor Fitzpatrick. And it's been a pretty chippy game. The scores have been high, the tempers have been flaring. We're in for a good finish here with 11:54 remaining in the third period. As we get a face-off to the left of Corrado Arangio. We got Clark and Burkett taking the face-off. Burkett for Windsor, Clark for Danforth in black. Burkett is going to make that face-off win. Broussard at the blue line to Denom. To Broussard to Burkett. Burkett with some open ice. Over to Denom, cross ice. Broussard. Denom. Trying to make some room. Burkett, but that's cut off in between with a good defensive play by Jordan Kahn. Broussard going to go down and chase that. Go see his buddy Chad Denom in net. Broussard's going to bring it back up through the neutral zone. Broussard. Stick handles. He gets it over to Denom. Denom over to Burkett. Burkett. He's going to send that one in. Try to get some deflection. Granero. To Broussard. Burkett. Sending it back low. Back to Burkett. Trying to make some space. They're closing in. Denom just wasn't there to get the one-time pass. And my apologies, number 13. It's not Jordan Kahn. It's Luke Rampino wearing number 13 for Danforth. And Corrado Arangio making a nice save there. Just barely gets through. And Clark was there to make sure that that didn't squeak behind the goal line. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the third period. Denom's going to carry it in past the blue line. Over to Broussard. Gets pushed back. They're going to have to tag up. Broussard try to do it all himself. He gets it in. Jutsti. He's got it. He's going to dump it out. Send it down the ice on the power play. And just like that, power play comes to an end for Windsor. Heading back to the offensive zone. Windsor have had some solid offensive zone time. Dupuis is going to chase after that. Denom's going to leave it for him behind the net. He's being haggled by Marco Dias there, number 30. Winter loses the ball. He's getting caught up by John Capano. Dias with a shot just wide of Denom. Winter. He's going to get that cut off. And driving in was Mitchell Fisher. Just couldn't get a hold on the puck. It was bouncing. The ball, excuse me. We got Winter He's trying to get it back over. Dupuis. Number 21, Rob Brockolick, getting some offensive zone time here late in the third here. 8:37 remaining, third period, 6-2 Danforth Knights. Winner going on to the semifinals, the Canada Ball Hockey Nationals here in Mississauga, Ontario. Face off to the right, Chad Denom in the Windsor defensive end. Jason Toth taking the face off for Danforth. As Dylan Denom takes it for Windsor. Denom wins it. That's fired in. Little one-on-one. That's sliced away by Zachary Carr. Lots of space. Denom just misses the pass over to Tim Cowett. Cowett to Broussard. Broussard fires it in. Nice save by Arangio. And we got a whistle. Looks like Arangio lost his stick. Just under 8 minutes in the third period, 6-2 for Danforth. So, leading the team for Danforth in points. Khalib Sims-Plania, 6 points in 3 games. He just got his 7th here today and an assist. I believe he got his 8th as well, another assist. He's one to look out for. The offense hasn't stopped. You got a timeout here for Danforth. I'm joined now by fellow play-by-play member Noah Simon. Noah, how'd the games just wrap up on your end?
Unreal, man. The games today have been amazing.
Like to hear it. You have yourself a good one, eh?
Thanks, buddy.
You take it easy?
Yeah.
Getting back underway here. 8 minutes left in the third period.
I'm going to rink 1 the rest of the day. I'll probably see you later. I'll see you at nighttime.
Well, if you want to see Noah Simon head to rink 1, you'll see his beautiful face up there at the broadcast desk. Getting back underway here. Face off to the right of Arangio. Winters taking on Keon Sims-Plania in the face-off dot. Excuse me, that's Rob Clark, sorry. 87, not 17. Winters is going to win that. It's going back to Broussard across the red line. They're going to have to tag up for Windsor. We got some 5-on-4 right now as Windsor is on the power play after that mess of shoving for the timeout. Broussard's going to carry this up. Winters chasing. And that's sent out down the floor. Denom going to hold on to that. He's going to send that to Broussard. Broussard to Dylan Denom. Dylan's going to cross the red line. He's going to send that to Broussard. Broussard holding tough on the boards. Winter. He's trying to find Finley at the top. There's Burkett. Stick handle it back to Winter. Broussard and Denom open on the left-hand side. Over to Denom. That's blocked by Rob Clark. That's going into the left-hand side. Broussard and Denom. Puck stays in possession. Denom. He's going to work his way. Big slash there from Kuksis. Winters to Burkett. Burkett firing from deep. Puck bouncing. Finley's going to get a hold of that. He's going to gently pass it over to Winter. Winter on the right-hand side. Over to Denom. Denom to Winter. Winter on the right-hand side. Shot stopped by Arangio. To Denom again. Shot stopped by Arangio. Burkett going down to chase that as this penalty comes to an end. See what the call is. There was still time on the penalty, so it wouldn't be flooring, but we got Owen Finley heading to the box. So 4-on-4 for 1 second. And then Zachary Carr comes out of the box. It'll be a 5-on-4 power play for Danforth, which has been exceptionally deadly. Looks like we got a timeout for Windsor. Well, timeout finishing up. 5:59, so there's 6 minutes to go in the third. 6-2 for Danforth as the Knights about to head on a power play after this 1 second expires. And Zachary Carr can get out of the box. Face off to the left of Chad Denom. Jason Toth is going to take the point for Danforth. And Sean Voy loses it to Toth. Sims Plania is going to send it down. Carr to Body. Carr, Sims Plania. Carr to Clark. Clark's got some room. Sims Plania going to the net, just blocked off. Great save by Denom. Carr keeping it at the point, nice and warm. He fires that in. That's blocked in the middle. Voy making a nice block there in front of his netminder. Arangio leaves that for Carr. Carr up to Kooksas. Kooksas works his way in. Breaks through. Sims Plania. We're going back to Carr. Kooksas. Carr, Kooksas, back to Carr. Carr rifles it and scores. Just the patient play. Zachary Carr gets his third of the tournament, his 4th point in 3 games. And just like that, Danforth Knights are up 7-2 with another power play goal. The power play has been an absolute merchant for the Knights, and that's been the key to their success today. Assist to Davis Kookas. As that's Kookas' 6th point in 4 games. Windsor trying to retaliate. Mike Capano bringing it in, and he's slashed. Getting ready for a face-off to the right of Chad Denom. A Knights offensive zone. John Capano taking the face-off against Winter. And Capano wins it. Mitchell Fisher fires it wide. Nice save by Denom as Mike Empey sends it in. Capano to Capano. Both Capano brothers along the wall. John gets it out. He's got some room. One-timer. Blocked by a Windsor Kooger. Mitchell Fisher working hard behind the net. He's checked hard by Trinkaluk. And Winter is going for it. But we're going to have ourselves a high sticking call, I believe. Well, everyone, if you thought listening to my voice was bad talk hockey, this is the fourth time in about 50 minutes that I've heard Cotton Eye Joe, so you can, we can compare and feel for me as well. As we get ready for a face-off with just under 4 minutes remaining, double minor to Windsor. Danforth going to have 4 minutes on the power play. It's hard to think that they're not going to capitalize on this opportunity. John Capano, he's going to be taking the face-off. He doesn't win it. Windsor gets a hold of it. Broussard is going to flip that down the floor. Sims Plania in the corner. He's going to send that up to the left-hand side to Mitchell Fisher. Giusti to Capano to Fisher. Back to Sims Plania. Capano to Giusti. Capano. We've seen them do this before the Knights. They set up this diamond shape and they just wait for a lane. Giusti to Capano. Fire! Score! Khalib, Sims, Plania. Rocket again. One-timer, they did it again. Assists go to John Capano and Paul Giusti. Khalib, Sims Plania. Another goal on the night. That's his 9th point in 4 games. And his second goal of the game. Make this 8-2 with 2:56 remaining in the third period. And Windsor is just gassed. You can see the expressions on their face. With 2 minutes, just under 3 minutes left, you're not going to be crawling back from this one in a 6-goal deficit. We got Burkett and Rishton on the face-off. Rishton wins it for Danforth. Finley heading in. That's a nice save by Arangio. No screen on that. Easy for him to grab that in the shoulder. Rishton and Burkett again in the face-off dot. Burkett wins it. They're going to get the offensive time for Windsor. So that's bounced out. Dias. He loses that. Open in Burkett, little one-on-one, and that's just wide on Arangio. Burkett and Toth went off at the face-off. Toth wins it for Danforth. Danforth going on a little rush here. Mitchell. Fisher just driving in all by himself. He's doing all the work right now down low. Capano waiting for him on the left-hand side. Getting squished in by Filipovsky. But Toth now. He's going to bounce down, try to make some room on Dupuis. Toth. He's going to fire it back around for Fisher. Fisher with possession. He's getting hammered around by Filipovsky. And Finley, he's going to take it and get that out. Burkett with Granero.
Okay. I'll adjust it.
Rampino. He's going to take his time, stick handle in his own zone. Head behind the net, kill off some time. 1:20 remaining in the third period. Over to Keon Sims-Plania. Back to Rampino. Rampino to Dias. Dias up to the right side. To Sims-Plania. He's just going to take his time and kill the clock. Back to Rampino. Rampino's going to fire that down, see if they can catch up. And that's going to be flooring. Which doesn't matter too much with 45 seconds left in an 8-2 game. Danforth just has to take care of this last few seconds. Keep Orangio out of trouble. And they'll be clean and clear. There were some signs of life from Windsor, especially in the second period. They had a lot of strengths, a lot of offensive zone time, but Corrado Orangio has just been incredible in net, and nothing they've done has been able to get by him. That's a win off the face-off, gets a shot off, but it's blocked by Sims-Plania. Windsor back at it again. Liberty. Sims-Plania on the left-hand boards. He's going to work it up to Dias. Cut off by Broussard. Broussard over to 21. 21 fires in on Orangio. Makes the save. Empey. Over to Rishton. Rishton to Sims-Plania. Sims-Plania. He tosses it back to Morden. Morden to Empey. And that's going to do it. Danforth Knights are moving on to the semifinals of the Canada Ball Hockey Nationals here in Mississauga, Ontario. An incredible 8-2 drubbing of the Windsor Cougars. So a few characters in the stands here. Pad some stats down below. Sims-Plania, 3 points on the night. That's for Keon. 2 points for Kalib. John Capano, his first goal of the tournament. As the players are going to line up on the blue lines to receive Player of the Game award honors. And I just got to say, every time I see it, Liberty has some gorgeous pads. Dante Liberty. A little jealous. And those Windsor jerseys are just clean. Heck of an offensive output by the Danforth Knights. As they congratulate each other. And Davis Kukis taking home Player of the Game award honors. He was all over the floor today. All over the arena. Defensively was incredible, made a lot of great blocks. Offensively contributed on the power play. Just some excellent